We head on over to the sports studio now and say a very good evening to Anne-Marie Burke.
The Barbados Olympic Association is reassuring the local athletes of its continued financial backing in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. Funding to athletes under the BOA scheme is also still intact despite the postponement of Tokyo 2020 by a year. This commitment has come from the BOA president, Sandra Osborne.
We've gotten the assurance from Olympic Solidarity, which is the funding arm of the International Olympic Committee, that their scholarships will continue, and also any support to us as a National Olympic Committee for the Games. We've also gotten assurance from Pan Am Sports that all of support will continue to athletes, coaches, and to National Olympic Committees. And we ourselves also would subsidize some of that funding, and we are also committed. Now, in terms of the details, there's still some details to work through because, for example, we don't know what the qualifying events will be that now have to be rescheduled. But apart from that, and some other number crunching that we need to do because we now know that the games are 15 months out. So we will do the necessary planning.
Osborne said that the level of funding should remain the same.
We will try to continue whatever we have in place. So I don't anticipate that we will be making any fundamental changes to our funding strategy or our approach to funding. But as I said, there are certain decisions that we will have to take. But as far as possible, we will want to make this as smooth as possible for our athletes because we understand, the stress and disruption and dislocation that they would have had to endure. So our, role is really to make sure that we can smoothen that process out and minimize any financial disruption.
Well, World Athletics has confirmed that next year's World Championships will instead take place in 2022 after the dates for the rearranged Tokyo 2020 Olympics were confirmed. Numerous sporting events planned for 2021 are now set to be moved to make room for the Olympics, including the World Athletics Championships set for Oregon in the United States. Meanwhile, the 2021 World Swimming Championships are currently scheduled to take place from July 16th to August 1st in Japan. The International Swimming Federation, FINA, pledged last week to be flexible regarding the dates of its major event, but has ruled out the prospect of postponing the competition to 2022.
And Anne-Marie is back now with our final look at sports.
Well, yes, Lisa, Trinidad and Tobago businessman Robert Haddad has been appointed head of the FIFA Normalization Committee to govern the affairs of the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association. We get more in this report.
One of the main tasks ahead for the committee is cleaning up the long-standing debt of the association, something he says they are not fully aware of as yet.
We have a lot of varied information coming at us in terms of how much is owed and who is owed. So I see us having to sort out the exact payables of the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association and all of the litigation matters. So I see those areas as being the most difficult areas for us to get on top of and find out exactly what is real, what is true, what is correct.
He has every confidence the committee will get that job done. And what would he like to see come the completion of this exercise?
I would love to see the TTFA in a debt-free position or with a program in place to take care of all their debts and a strong management team in place. I am not 100% sure of the current management team nor the past management teams, but what I will tell you is I would seek to put people in place who are going to be dedicated and committed to seeing TTFA put themselves in a strong financial position so that we could compete to the World Cup and the different tournaments all over the world represented.
Haddad had this message for the footballing public who may question his appointment.
All I can tell people is I am going to remain in the middle of the road. I am not going to favor anyone. I am not in a position to judge anybody past or future. We are here to just make the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association a stronger organization.
An additional 2 members are set to be added shortly to enhance the capabilities of the committee.
Meanwhile, President of the Caribbean Football Union, Randy Harris, says while the decision by FIFA to take over the administration of football in Trinidad and Tobago is unfortunate, by putting a normalization committee in place, it can only augur well in getting the administration in that country back on track.
The thing about it is that normalization is required to put the association back on track. I have seen it work with Guyana, and I've seen it work with Dominican Republic and Guatemala in recent times. What happens is that the normalization committee is usually comprised of a number of people from within that same country who are not involved personally in football, and they're required to look at the finances, look at the statutes, the way how things are done in the association, and try to bring some level of a responsibility back.
The Normalization Committee will have up to 2 years to carry out its work, including creating a debt repayment plan which the TTFA can implement, reviewing the local governing body statutes and ensuring their adherence to FIFA regulations. And they also oversee the new elections. From a CFU perspective, Harris assured that the committee will have their full support.
It is one of our members, and, you know, we always feel sad when normalization has to come into effect. However, this is FIFA business, and we are all members of FIFA, and when we applied for membership, we all agreed to play under the rules and regulations of FIFA. And of course, it is sad that Trinidad finds itself in that situation, but from a CFU point of view, we have to now deal with the normalization committee that FIFA has installed until they have been able to turn things around, and FIFA once again say, well, it is well for the people in Trinidad to elect a new executive council to run their football.